Gayatri Mahamantra with your back straight. Om Bhuribhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Deva Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha, Akhanda Mandalakaram, Vyaptam Yena Characharam, Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha, Om Shri Guruve Namaha, Vyas Rupena Vahayami, Sthapayami, Dhyayami, Pujyami, Tato Namaskaram Karomi. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita chapter number 11, Virat Roop Darshan, verse number 11, 12, and 13. The magnanimity of the infinite has been attempted to encompass within the confinement of verbal expression. And that is the beatitude of the verses that we have so far experienced and are going to now further experience and are observed in this chapter number 11, Shrimed Bhagavad Gita. It is infinity. How can you encompass infinity, the absoluteness, the completeness of this cosmos through verbal expressions? It's impossible. Yet, it has been attempted by the timeless master Adi Guru Muni Ved Vyas. He has very well attempted. He's trying to enumerate anything and everything that a human can imagine, conceive, or even to transcend beyond the limits of imagination, not only to entail the details corresponding to this planet, but maybe wherever it could be, if at all, those also have been symbolically included in his expression. And that is the beatitude of all these verses. They appear to be quite rhetoric. They have to be rhetoric. Unless they are rhetoric, they shall not suffice the expression and justice to encompass the infinity. And in these present verses, there are two things that are very important for their mentioning to be brought to your notice directly before we go down to the exact verse of the words of the verses. One thing is, here the effulgence of the Almighty has been expressed equivalent to 1,000 suns, the blazing effulgence of 1,000 suns. It is almost impossible to see the sun in the middle of the day, especially in the afternoon here in India, with naked eye. You cannot see the blazing sun. Very harmful to the eyes. Imagine if they are 1,000 in number, then what shall happen? Of course, yes. If not permanent but temporary blindness shall certainly come. Will you be able to see anything if the effulgence in the sky equates the effulgence of 1,000 suns, equivalent to 1,000 suns? Will you be able to see anything? No. The plain, blank, impulsive answer is no. You cannot see anything because that effulgence is so huge. It's so huge, so intense that eyes will not be able to see anything. So much so that we can count those moments whenever on a single road On a single road mean where there are no two lanes for to and fro, the same lane. If at night there comes a vehicle from the opposite side with the high beams to the maximum, that piercing light creates a temporary blindness for few moments on the opposite side from where from we are driving. So if it is so with the lights of a car, then what could it be with the effulgence of thousand, which has been equated to thousand suns? Nothing shall be visible. The the purpose of mentioning this metaphor in a way is to create an awareness among the seekers about the intensity of the Brahma Teja, the auric value, the auric intensity of the Almighty, the count of the potential, the stock of the potential in the Almighty, which goes beyond comprehension, which far exceeds the limited ambit of the sensorial drivers. In a way, through these verses, Adiguru Muni Vedvyas, the timeless master, wants to create a lot of fatigue for the intellect, human intellect, so that it stops wandering, stops fetching details, more details about the infinity. What is infinity? Can I understand infinity? Can I encompass infinity into my comprehension? No, it is not possible. So it goes on enumerating upon one after another magnanimity of different kinds so that there is the intellect becomes fatigued and it gives up. Enough is enough. Infinity cannot be encompassed within my comprehension, within my limited potential of understanding. So, therefore, let me accept that absoluteness as beyond, beyond. So, that is the purpose of this particular chapter. The second aspect, which is very important to be brought into notice, is that in the verse number 13, it is mentioned that everything is cited within one figure of Lord Krishna. Everything. The mentioning of all those ingredients enumerated have been observed by Arjuna and also observed by Sanjaya in one figure, which also indicates towards that completeness that we gather from an example of a hologram, Purnamada, that every single particle of this creator beholds absolute completeness. There is nothing in its creation which is inconclusive or incomplete. We may not be able to judge, observe, or understand, but anything and everything, the smallest particle also, is born with absoluteness and completeness, thereby indicating that within Lord Krishna's figure, everything is there. Nothing is beyond that. And we also should appreciate the beatitude of the mentioning that there are four people involved here. I'm saying people, including the Almighty, manifestation of Almighty as Lord Krishna, his disciple, Arjuna, one who is observing, then one who is acting as a true journalist, reporting live, Sanjaya, and to whom he is reporting the blind emperor, that is Dhritarashtra. That with Dhritarashtra, though he is a wicked person, but he is a blessed soul from the point of view that he has been given an opportunity to listen to the commentary of the Sanjaya, wherein he is mentioning about the Virat Roop, the absoluteness and the completeness as projected by Almighty. So these are three very important points that need to be brought in. Now let's go down to the verse directly. Let's study the verses here as observed in the shloka one by one. Shloka 11. Divya Malyambardharam Divya Gandha Anulepanam Sarva Ascharyam Devam Anantam Vishvato Mukham. It says that it is wearing celestial garlands and garments decorated with special kind of a sandal paste. It has all the wonder, all the effulgence. That effulgence is endless. It has no limit. And that it means the Almighty. That it is spanned in all directions. Wherever you see, it is there. It's very much there. Nothing beyond it. Going down to the verse number 12. Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhavet Yugupat Uttita Yadi Baha Sadrishi Sa Syat Bhasa Tasya Mahatmana. It goes on to mention if 1,000 effulgent suns could simultaneously rise and shine in the sky, the effulgence of those 1,000 suns could be equated with that of that great Lord, Lord Krishna. This is a mention which I've already given to you. Now we go down to the verse number 13. Tatra ekastham jagat kritasnam pravibhaktam anekada apshyat dev devasya sharire pandavaha tada tada. It says that in the body of the Lord, all kind of being in different kinds of manifestation. The Arjuna has been addressed as Pandu, that all manifestations could be different, of different kinds. Not only humans, apart from humans, there are so many celestial beings of different kinds. Deva, Manushya, Yaksha, Rakshasa, Gandharva, different kinds of celestial beings. They also are visible, maybe of whatever kind, at the same place, in the same body. Everything has been very finely divided in manifold ways. This is the beautitude of the expression of the Adiguru Muni Ved Vyas, which has been given, rendered in these three verses. See, each class that we are undertaking in Virat Roop Darshan chapter 11, its duration is limited. It is not exceeding more than, say, 15 minutes. For the reason being, because the kind of mentioning which is indicative, trying to encompass infinity in verbal expression, cannot be given any further indicators that can be drawn out of this allegory, except it is infinity brought in by different manners into the verbal expression. Whereas in other chapters, we had a lot of scope of interpretation of each verse, and it was distinctively done justice with to the limited capacities of this teacher. So maybe in the next chapter, the verses to come, we will again gather that opportunity of interpretation. Having said that, more to come in the next class. Till then, ओम ही सत्य है, ओम ही सत्य है, ओम ही सत्य है.